think training actually helped with my mental health. I felt like just being able to release those endorphins and like work out helped with that. But if it's more of like you're getting insecure because you're going to the gym, one thing is, don't look at the scale number all the time, especially if you start weightlifting. The scale number is literally just a number. It doesn't go over like your dry lean mass, it doesn't go over your water weight, it doesn't go over your fat mass. Like I've been 127 at one time and it looked totally different from when I was 127 another time. Like it literally tells you nothing. So like really try not to pay much attention to the scale unless it's like a really big fat loss journey, then okay, that might be a little beneficial. But if you're more on the average side, it's really not going to help you out more. Take progress pics. This is a big one. Like I would hate that I had nothing to look back on and be like, I think I look better, but like I have nothing to refer to because I didn't take progress pics. And it's so motivating to see like a month down the road how like your body's changing, because it kind of just like it becomes addicting. Like results are addicting. Like once you actually see that progress going, you want to just keep going.
Welcome to Q's Health and Wellness Podcast, your source for living a healthier lifestyle and developing a better mind, body, and soul. Through guidance, tips, and stories of highly successful fitness gurus, athletes, and individuals who are passionate about enhancing all aspects of life, we provide you with the tools to help you take your lifestyle to another level. And now your host, Quinn Mitchell.
Thank you for joining Q's Health and Wellness Podcast. This is your host, Quinn Mitchell, and today I have a very special guest, Braxtyn Harris, as a personal trainer at Equinox Gym. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. So for people not familiar with you, would you mind giving a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm 22. I currently work as a personal trainer at Equinox in Boston. I started this career like 2 months ago. So yeah, but I've been lifting for 4 to 5 years consistently.
I got you. So what made you get started with like in the fitness industry?
So basically it was my heart condition. So without going into too much detail, I had heart surgery when I was 6 weeks old, and I'm in good shape right now, but when I'm like 40, 50-ish, I'm probably gonna have to have surgery again. And so I just wanted to make it a priority to like put my health first. So that's really what jump-started my fitness career.
Gotcha. So now with your personal training, do you see any obstacles that you have with people that you're training that you first get?
In regards to what? Like,
so in regards if they don't have enough time, so when they first come to you, are there any obstacles that people?
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some big objections. But even if we take money out of it, say it's not like they're paying for it kind of thing, a lot of objections are usually time. They don't think they can do the commitment just in general, even if they have the time, spouses, family, things like that of that nature. But then I realized like once you just get them going and they just kind of build it into the routine, it becomes more like a lifestyle rather than just like, something you have to like get up and go do for an hour and a half. That's like something you dread. It just becomes part of your lifestyle.
Gotcha. Now, before we started recording, you had told me that you're in school. So how did you basically balance out everything, going to the gym and being in school? I know a lot of people have trouble with that.
Yeah. I mean, I was lucky. So I lived on campus and like I had my gym on campus. When I was in school, I'd only have like 2 or 3 classes a day. I did work full time, but even with that, like I still was able to like throw in the gym in there. But if you're just starting and it's not that easy, I would definitely say try to make it like a morning if you're like a first shift or even second shift person, in third shift, or try to make it like a night thing. It's not really in the middle of your day, so it's kind of just like you get it out the way, or you kind of finish your day doing it rather than like it throwing off your entire schedule. I'm a morning person personally. I like to start off my mornings getting right and then just go about the rest of my day. But
no, I definitely agree with you on the same way. I like to get it out the way. Are there any tips that you would give women that are first starting out in the gym?
Definitely don't be insecure. People aren't looking at you as much as you think they are. People are definitely minding their business. Especially if it's anyone you should care about their opinion, they're probably too busy working out, lifting to even notice you there. So don't be insecure about it. And then also everyone starts somewhere. So like you're not going to have all the knowledge in the world when you first go into the gym, but as long as like you're progressing, like every small step, even a little step, is still a step in the right direction. So
Got you. Now, how are you dealing with your clients now during this coronavirus? I know a lot of them, they don't have access to go to the gym. So is there any suggestions that you could give people that's listening that they could help keep them in shape?
yeah, no, definitely. One, if you're already going to the gym, don't be like alarmed at the fact that you're not going to be able to work out the same way. Really take this time to just focus on keeping your body active and moving. Like if you had strength goals, like obviously you're probably not going to be optimizing them like in the most effective way, but I mean, as long as you're keeping your body going, by the time you get back, you're really not going to have lost as much as you thought you did. And taking this rest really does help. Like it really does give your body time to like recover, repair, and then once you get back going, you'll be ready to go.
Yes. Now I've
So
been
just stay
following.
healthy, like don't overthink it.
Mm-hmm. Now I've been following
What
you.
was that? Sorry.
No, you're fine. I was following you for a while, and I see that your nutrition is very key to your body. Can you just speak on that a little bit? Because I'm not sure
Right.
the diet that you're on specifically, but I do see you post about it a lot.
Yeah, so right now I'm currently vegan. I've been vegan for the last month probably, or just say consistently. But before that, even before then, I was just like making it a habit to cut out things that I just felt like my body wasn't responding well to. So before I started making big changes, I just, rather than even just looking at yourself, seeing how you feel, like after you have a meal, really like sit down and think like, how did that make me feel? And like a lot of times, like a big one for me was dairy. Every time I'd have any type of meal with dairy in it, I would just feel so lethargic, tired, and just bloated, and I hated it. So I started to just cut things out one by one. It's like a big key, one by one, to see like what my body responded the best to. And then I just somehow ended up vegan and test trialing it. And so far, honestly though, the results and all the benefits I get from it are great. Like not even like a fat loss or a weight loss kind of thing, like genuinely just how energized I feel and how I feel throughout the day.
Got you, because that's what I was going to ask you next, dude. Is there a lot of benefits that come from the vegan diet? Because you're the first guest I had on the show that has actually currently on the diet.
Oh, really? That's awesome. I'm still learning, so everything's definitely a learning curve and process. But for right now, if I just said like right off the bat, the benefits I get out of it,
Mm-hmm.
it would genuinely just be the energy thing. Because I hated before, especially since I was bulking right before this happened. I was trying to just like get as much food as I can in to, like get those calories up, but I would just feel so tired after eating a meal, even if it was relatively healthy. Like even if it was on the healthier side, I still would just feel so bloated, tired, and I didn't want to do anything. Now, like with my plant-based meals, I eat an entire meal and I feel it. Like I feel like I'm pretty full, but I can keep going. Like I could do a whole workout. Before, I always wanted to lift fasted just because I just couldn't stand the feeling of being full working out. And I think it was just literally a nutrition thing, not like because you're full about to work out kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing.
Got you. Now, for women that's looking to lose weight, what are some suggestions that you would give them? Because I know a lot of times they look for like the dietary pills and like the waist trainers. I'm not sure how you feel about those things, but what are some suggestions that you would give a woman trying to lose weight?
Um, I want to say food trackers, so I use LifeSum, but I know food trackers can just not be sustainable for some people because it is a lot of work. Like you have to input everything. So if you're just starting off, I would definitely say just like get a notebook and start like a food log. Like don't even change anything to your diet. Like for like 3 days, just write down every single thing you consume from water, food, any beverage, anything, just write it all down and then reflect and look back at some things where you think like, hey, like how did I feel after I had that? Or you're just going to look at it and realize like, damn, that's kind of a lot. Like maybe there's some things I can work on and kind of like break bad habits and build good habits as time goes on. And then maybe you can jump to like a food tracker. So I don't know if you've ever gone over this in your podcast about caloric deficits or surpluses.
I had guests talk about it, but you could feel free to talk about it if you'd like.
Okay, I didn't want to like rant or do too much. So basically to lose weight in general, like no matter what, you have to just be eating less than you're burning. to lose weight. And a good way to track that is on like a fitness tracker, like Lifesum and stuff. If you just input everything, you can even put how many calories you burn, how much water you're drinking, all of that, and it'll basically just let you know that you're on track. So after food log, if you feel like progressing to that, that can help you stay on track. Even Lifesum will go over like the nutrition facts and everything you're eating. So if it's too processed, if it's high in certain things like sugars, sodium and all of that, it'll kind of just break everything down for you. So if you're trying to lose weight, I would say either start the food log, do Lifesum, just to pay attention to what you're eating.
So how do you personally feel about the waist trainers and the dietary pills? Are you in favor of those, or are you against those?
I think the dietary pills are a little dangerous. You should definitely be careful with them. And waist trainers, I don't know. I guess to say I'm indifferent about it, but I definitely don't think they're necessary. Like, I got to where I'm at. I'm not obviously to my ultimate goals, but I got substantially close to it without doing any of those things. It really was just me taking the time to just break down my nutrition, because people don't realize it's like really like almost more important than working out. Like, if you're not getting your nutrition right, like even if you're working out, you're probably not going to see the results, which I know some people like hate to hear. I hated to hear it because I wanted all my carbs, pizza, pasta, and all that. But like, it's just a self-discipline thing, really sitting down, pay attention when you're putting your body, and you realize like maybe you don't even want to cut. Maybe it's like as soon as you just change those habits, you'll see it doesn't matter what the weight you're at, you'll just feel good and look good either way. So I think before even picking those goals, I would definitely tell people to just look at what you're eating first and focus on that before anything else.
Gotcha. No, for women that want the hourglass figure, because that's what every woman really wants. What are some steps that they should take towards getting that body? Um, because I know a lot of times they look for many things at Google. How can I get the Kim K body? And there's a lot of bullshit out there as well. But what are some things that you can tell people that's listening, or women specifically, that would help them achieve their goal?
Ooh. I mean, I don't want to sound repetitive again, but like aside from, let's just take out the nutrition part. Yes, that's a big factor. But if you're looking to get that kind of body, you're definitely going to have to like lift heavy in the gym. You're definitely going to have to put more of like a routine in place for yourself. It's just no fast way to that result at all. Like a lot of the girls that I see who are at that point now, that with that Kim K figure, went through a lot of phases of bulking, cutting, changing what they're eating, changing like just a lot of things from working on muscular endurance to strength to like so much. And then they ended up there. Like, it's not just like a fast process. But it's definitely going to be an equal equation of like nutrition, working out. You're definitely going to have to switch it up. It's not going to be cardio all day. Like, those Kim K bodies, the naturally formed way, are from like formed muscles and like big muscles, like hypertrophy training and stuff like that. So you're definitely going to just have to do your research on how to work yourself out instead of just like, taking the treadmill or Stairmaster or something like that.
I definitely agree, because that's the next question I was going to ask you. How do you feel about the treadmill? Because you go to the gyms all the time. You see the women in there on hours on the treadmill, and it's like they're just doing themselves a disfavor. So what are some exercises instead of doing hours on the treadmill that women could do to help get their cardio?
Right. Before I start though, there's nothing wrong with the treadmill, just use it sparingly. Like, it's just not like an everyday ideal kind of thing. Strength train. I know girls are so scared of like this muscular figure that they're going to get with these traps and shoulders, but like, it's just probably not going to happen like that right off the bat. And there's ways to go around that. So like one way you can focus on like max strength or like muscle building in your lower half. And then if you're really scared of that muscular build up top, work like on muscular endurance. So doing like high reps, like 15 to 20 of like 3 to 4 sets of like building muscle up here. So that way it's not like you're really increasing size. You're just, staying toned and lean. And if you really want to build that bottom half, focus on heavy lifting, like progressive overload for your lower half. So like one thing for me for building, I guess, the glutes is that everyone's talking about. Hip thrusts are a huge one. Glute bridges, different variations of deadlifts, hip abduction work. So like not just sitting on that hip abductor machine the whole entire time on your phone kind of thing, like actually focus on using it. You can even do glute bridges into hip abductions, get a hip band, like the resistance bands. Those are key, like warming up, stretching, all that kind of stuff to really build your lower half. It's a progress that could happen overnight for sure.
Definitely, definitely.
It's doable the natural way, and it'll look better.
hmm Now, how do you tell your clients? Because I know when people are working out, they often hit a wall or plateau where they get discouraged and they don't want to go to the gym. So, how do you keep your clients motivated to go to the gym, or even yourself? What is something that motivated you to keep going when you didn't feel like going?
Well, for myself and being a personal trainer for my clients is a little different. When you have a personal trainer, it's their job to monitor that all the time. And like, if you give them any type of feedback where you feel like you're plateauing, they're going to figure it out. But the one way we figure it out is just like making sure we're always switching it up, make sure we're challenging different planes of motion. Like, we're not just doing a squat, we're doing like a reverse lunge to the side, focusing on building muscle in different planes of motion, like kind of things like that, working on progressive overload, make sure we're moving up weight, like obviously safely, but like just making sure moving up weight, and just like switching it up. So we might go from like a hypertrophy phase where it's like you're trying to increase the muscle size to a maximal strength phase where we're trying to just build the strength of that muscle. Or we'll go back to muscular endurance where we're doing high repetitions to just maybe lean out. I mean, hypertrophy training will kind of do that, but you know what I mean? Just like switching it up constantly.
Got you. So one last question I want to ask you before I let you go, is how important is the mental health aspect when it comes to personal training? Because I know a lot of times, if your mental health isn't there, then you're not going to want to work on your body. So can you just talk on that a little bit, how important that is?
Yeah. So, well, for me, training actually helped with my mental health. I felt like just being able to release those endorphins and like work out helped with that. But if it's more of like you're getting insecure because you're going to the gym, one thing is, don't look at the scale number all the time, especially if you start weightlifting. The scale number is literally just a number. It doesn't go over like your dry lean mass, doesn't go over your water weight, doesn't go over your fat mass. Like, I've been 127 at one time and it looked totally different from when I was 127 another time. Like, it literally tells you nothing. So like, really try not to pay much attention to the scale unless it's like a really big fat loss journey. Then okay, that might be a little beneficial. But if you're more on the average side, it's really not going to help you out more. Take progress pics. This is a big one. Like, I would hate that I had nothing to look back on and be like, I think I look better, but like I have nothing to refer to because I didn't take progress pics. And it's so motivating to see like a month down the road how like your body's changing, because it kind of just like, it becomes addicting. Like, results are addicting. Like, once you actually see that progress going, you want to just keep going. Don't worry about where everyone else is, because everyone else started somewhere else. Everyone else has different habits. Like, literally just pay attention to yourself, compare yourself to where you were before. And if you're not happy about it, make good changes, break habits one at a time. Like, just pay attention to yourself, because everyone starts differently. You don't know what other people are doing, especially on Instagram. People will be getting surgeries, butt lifts. Like, you don't know what they're doing. Like, don't pay attention to that at all. Yeah, I think those are my 3 big things. Oh, and track progress, like weight wise. So if you're weightlifting, make sure like you're putting in like, okay, I lifted this much last week or a month before. Like, track your progress to make sure you're going up, rather than just going to the gym like, okay, like what am I going to do? I'm just going to hop on this that machine and they'll do it again tomorrow. Because then it's like, what are you comparing? Like, you don't even know if you're getting better, and then it's discouraging for yourself. So like, don't set yourself up for failure in that sense.
Gotcha. And also, one last question I want to ask you as well, is when people are out there looking for a personal trainer, because there's a lot of bullshit trainers out there that just do everything for the dollar. So what is something that people should look for when they're looking to hire a personal trainer?
That's kind of a hard question. I don't think you should go just based off how a personal trainer looks. Like, I know it's easier for us to say like, oh, I want that guy because he's jacked, or that girl because she's lean and she'll definitely tell me what to do. Like, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. And even if someone's not in the shape you want to be, doesn't mean they can't teach you what to do. So like, don't judge a book by its cover. Definitely, when you're going to pick a trainer, talk to a couple of them. Like, even before you go to buy, like, most of the personal trainers will just hang out in your gym. Like, maybe start a conversation with one of the trainers and see where their head's at, see what they can teach you. And then as soon as you do get one, pay attention to things like them checking in on you daily, like making sure you're good, what are you eating, tracking your food logs. They'll express interest on like how they're programming, because as a personal trainer, you have to program a lot. So just make sure everything's good. You'll notice differences on that. If they're doing their own research, like if you give a question, they don't have the answer and they go and do tons of research just to help you out, like that's a good sign. Like anyone who's just like really enthusiastic about getting you to where you want to be is just a good sign in general.
Got you. And then my last question for you is, what is your typical day like for you? I know with the virus and everything, everything might have died down now, but even before the virus, did you have a specific layout that you did throughout the week?
In regards to like my fitness goals or like training
or no, just in general, like your typical day.
Oh, like my day?
Yeah.
Oh, my days were chaotic. I didn't think I had a day off for like a month before this whole thing happened. I was just working a lot. But a typical day would basically be being in the gym the whole entire time, whether that be programming, studying, or working myself out kind of thing. That doesn't mean you have to do that all. For a typical person though, I think just make sure you focus on eating throughout the day and just get your workout in at some point. Take care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to get to your other goals in life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And for people that want to get in contact with you, even if they have questions for you, would you mind giving them your personal contact information?
Yeah, so I guess my Instagram's a good one. I don't know how to put my name. It's spelled kind of weird, but it's BraxtynHarris on Instagram, or then you can just contact me via email. It's my first and last name, braxtyn.harris@pt.equinox.com.
And I'll definitely include that in the bio. But I appreciate you taking time out your day, Braxtyn, to talk to me and give a great advice on how women basically keep in shape during this time. You gave great input, and I appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of Q's Health and Wellness Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe or to leave us a review on iTunes or the listening platform of your choice. Also, please check us out at QuinnMitchellII.com, as well as find us on Instagram for more useful content and resources.